Oh my gosh, look who's back. You ready? This is gonna be a make my drink day. This is from my girl Tania. I already have a shot of OJ in here. We're gonna do this. And then the old tried and true sparkling water. We're gonna do this. Gonna give it a little mixies. Dangerous. I also have to tell you about my cup. Here's my little secret. Not that it's probably a really big secret, but if you go to stores like CVS, Walgreens, Target, Big Lots, any store like that, right? After the holiday, they always mark stuff down on deep discount. I got this and they're my favorite because, you know, they are insulated, lid and everything. I'm just not using it. $1.30. Come on now. Grab your drink and let's get into it. Hi guys, Chevy Rell here. It's been a bit, which is longer than a minute. I can't remember the last time I recorded, but the last time I recorded, I told y'all I was taking a little hiatus because I was in a play. First off, my name's Chevis. You're in the stuff room, Chevy Rell Stuff, here with Jareth as well. I talk about yarn and knitting and crocheting and just stuff like that. We're coming off a long break because I was in a play, which I know I already said, but I'm going to talk about that later because I'm guessing there are a ton of you who don't give a hoot about that, but I will say it was a ton of fun. The plan is I'm going to talk about FOs, whips, and some enabling, and then I am going to save Happy Mail and some other stuff and record tomorrow, and Dan's gonna be with me, which won't mean anything to you because it'll all be in one episode for you. First things first, to refresh your memory, on the last episode, I showed a subscription box that was sent to me by WoolenWomenFiber, which is two sisters and a mom, and they make all their stuff, and you need to go check them out and watch my last podcast. You'll hear more about them. But I opened this subscription box, and after I opened it, I was like, I know this is going to be sitting in my stash for a while, and that's not fair to this beautifulness, so I'm going to give it to you. The one thing that you will not be getting that came in the box is the candle, and that's because I burned it. And you also will not be getting the candy hearts because, as those of you who watched the last episode know and who participated in the giveaway, Ditto ate the candy hearts. He did not get sick. Many of you were very concerned about that. He does have a finicky stomach sometimes, but apparently not when it comes to candy hearts. Now, there were also a few of you who wigged out over the fact that I ate the loose candy hearts that were in the box. Like, I ate a couple of them. Normally that is something that would gross me out, but I was drinking martinis and it didn't. And look, hey, I'm still alive. So there you go. You will be getting this bag. In the bag, I am including the card, and there is, where is it? There is a coupon code for Sam's Tiny Trinkets, 10% off. I hope that it's still good when you get this. I'm sure it will be. A wool wash bar that looks like this really pretty flower. Now, I opened it, but then I promptly put it in here. So I did say that I touched it, sorry. So like my fingerprints are on it, but I'm clean, I promise. So wool wash soap. And this beauty, look at this. Look how pretty. Oh my gosh. And then you get a little tag, a little leather tag that says handmade with love, a little pin, Woolen Women's. And these, oh my gosh, I love these. Oh, obviously, I've already shown these, but I feel like I need to give you a reminder. And the boxes that they have right now are super cool too. You need to go check out their subscription boxes. I almost said prescription bottles. Anywho, this is a little hand felted cloud. I mean, look how perfect that is. And a hot air balloon. Without further ado, that will be going off to, dun, da, da, da. I had it all queued up and now I probably messed it up because it's been open for a while. I have all this stuff all loaded in the random condom picker. Oh, did you guys miss me? I'm obviously a little out of practice. Random comment picker. I haven't even been talking about condoms. I don't even know where that came from. Oh my gosh. Start. And the winner is Chrisanna Huey. I meant Chrisanne, not Chrisanna. I read real good. And her comment says, hoping Ditto didn't get a sugar rush from the candy hearts. You also inspired the candy heart martini. Dude, there were a handful of you who mentioned a candy heart martini, and I forgot about it. I wanted to make one. I'm sure there's already a recipe for that, right? But I would love to drink a candy heart martini. In order to enter for that, you had to say candy heart in the comment somewhere. So, Chrisanne, get a hold of me. You can message me on Ravelry, my email, which is in the description link box below, all the stuff below in the show notes, or Instagram, which I'm Chevy Rel in all the places. I have been gone for 3 months, close to, let's see, my birthday's passed. The play, I'm so glad that I took a break because, I mean, I'll talk more about it later, but I'm glad I took the break because really, any of you who've been in a play know, I'm not so sure that I knew what I was signing up for when I signed up for that because it was very time consuming. Most nights of the week, I did not get home until between 9:30 and 11. I did not and have not, at least I feel, gotten much knitting done. So just a warning, I don't have a whole lot of that. I do have an FO. I don't have it here because it is the Moss Stitch Beret by Kent Turman. Here is the picture of the pattern. It's a free pattern. And I knit that for my friend Chris, who's a firefighter, and he went to the St. Patrick's Day parade in New York City. He was so excited to go, and I got to see him in person and give him the hat. I forgot to get a picture when I gave him the hat, but he has, obviously, since St. Patrick's Day has passed, has sent me pictures. So here's how cute he looks in his hat. This is Chris. And then he also sent me a picture with him and his buddies holding the banner while they're walking through the parade. That is an FO. That was pretty cool. My other FO is some spinning. The fiber is Gwen Erin Natural Fibers, tweed. And it's 80% South American wool, 20% nets, 4 ounces. And I've forgotten how many yards I've gotten now. But here it is. And I did a single. Look at that neppy wonderfulness. Which that's pretty good for a single. Now it's been like skeined up. I mean, it's rolling on itself a little, but I'll take it. My plan is to enter this in the skein competition at Michigan Fiber Festival in Allegan in August. I have never considered spinning a single for judging. Many of you know that I am like a novelty spinner or an art yarn spinner. Hold on just a second. A few years ago, I did get first place for my coils at the Michigan Fiber Festival. And here is that skein. There's my coils. Which that was really cool. It's the first time I've ever entered hand spun in anything. So I'm kind of outside of my wheelhouse here. Now, let me get it. I just brought my whole wheel over. This one is not feeling as good as this one. I think that I may have overspun this. And I've actually taken a very long break on it because I wasn't happy with how I was spinning it. I don't know if I was just like anxious or stressed, or I don't know. I need to readdress. I'm hoping I didn't ruin it. This one will probably be the one that I enter. I was going to enter them both together. This is what this other one looks like. So it has that same kind of yellow in there. And then obviously the net, I mean, doesn't that look so good? I can't wait for the shawl, but obviously it's going to be a while because I am planning on entering this. Can I say that any more times? Hey guys, guess what? I'm going to enter this skein in the Michigan Fiber Festival. For those of you who like my wheel, this is the Ashford Joy. Tammy from Cinematic Skeins just got one as well. And I did not know this, but mine is the Ashford Joy 1. I think she got the Ashford Joy 2 because on the 2, the handle's like down here. It like the 2 doesn't have a handle up here, which I will tell you is a little awkward when the bobbins on it, which they say you really shouldn't be moving your wheel around with the flyer on it anyway, because you have a chance of bending it, which, spoiler alert, I have. It's not terrible, but there's a hair of wobble in there. And then this bobbin is an Akerworks Designs bobbin. You can go on their website and pick your wheel, whatever wheel you have, and these break down flat for travel, which sounds like an awesome selling point, but I've never done that, nor have I needed to do that. I mean, I suppose maybe if you're flying with your wheel or something, you can pick this design. I've talked about these before. You can pick this design and this color. So let's get into whips, shall we? This drink is going down very good. It's the straw. I'll do the little ones first. Now, I'm going to preface this. I said I haven't gotten very much done, or at least it didn't feel like I've gotten very much done in my hiatus. These first 2 things are new cast-ons, and they're hoes, so half objects. For those of you who don't know what a hoe is, get it, H-O, half object. My other 2 whips are huge, big projects that I feel like I have knit on a whole bunch. I'm saying that I feel like I haven't gotten a lot of knitting done because you can't really see it. But now I want to watch my last episode to see how far I went, because I forgot to put markers in, and I've been working on these bigger projects more than anything. I could have gotten these smaller projects done 5 times, but I really, really, really want these bigger projects done, so they have been getting the majority of my time lately. Without further ado, I started Dan's triathlon socks. For those of you who don't know, Dan does triathlons. Dan's my man. You'll see him later if you're new here. Oh, also,
welcome. Hey, how you doing?
Do you have your drink? Because we drank here. It doesn't have to be a spirit. It can be tea or coffee or whatever, but everyone should take in liquids. Anywho, Dan races for Team Zoot, and the kits this year, which is like the unitard, but Dan doesn't like it when I call them unitards. And I think I call them unitards because I don't know why. What'd they call them in wrestling? I was a wrestlerette in high school, not a mat maid. Singlet. That's what they called them in wrestling. Singlets. So I don't know where unitard comes from. Is that gymnastics? Are those called unitards? Anyway, it's a one piece outfit when he's doing triathlons. And for those who don't know what triathlons are, it's swim, bike, run, and they're all crazy, superhuman people who are going to be the ones who win in the zombie apocalypse. Mark my words, for all future beings, I think triathletes are gonna be the winners. Anyway, we picked out this yarn because it matches his kit this year, which I'll put a picture here. I think I've done this already, but this is his kit. And these are his Zoot Suit socks. And the yarn is from 100 Ravens. We got this at Rhinebeck. That is their label. And it's on 2 different bases. One has nylon, one doesn't. I don't care. We did it so that the nylon, which is this Patos base, and that is the Polaris colorway. And this has the nylon in it, so this is on the part of his heel. And this doesn't have nylon in it. It'll be fine. Some people have very strong feelings on the fact that socks should have nylon in them. I like to live on the edge. Plus, if they blow out, I can knit more. Like, I'm really not worried about it. But nylon does give it strength, so we did put the nylon base on the heel. The pattern that I chose is a free pattern by Hypercycloid, and it's called Pole Dance. Some of you have seen this on Instagram. I did post them already. This is a free pattern, which I've already said. Here's the hoe. Isn't it cool? It was so much fun. The construction is super fun. It's very easy. My only thing. Oh, and it has 2 different toes. You can either do the wedge toe or a spiral toe, or hat. I think they called it like a hat top toe or something. I forget. But I've never done that before. So Dan is the guinea pig, and we'll see how he likes that toe. It is sort of wonky on the sock blocker. However, it fits his foot fine. But it tells you how to measure, like it gives you multiples and you can measure your foot and blah, blah, blah. And it says, or just cast on 68 stitches for a medium width woman's foot. My standard sock pattern is 64 stitches, right? And that's also what I knit for Dan on the regular is 64 stitches. And I'm like, okay, well, if they're saying that a women's medium is 68 stitches, then I thought maybe there was something like in the pattern that, pulled it more snug, so it needed like a little bit more. Because I'm thinking a woman's, don't most y'all girls knit like 58, 60, 62? Like, I kind of felt like 64 was like a bigger women's sock. I don't know. Anyway, I did the 68 stitches. If you are going to knit this pattern, it is a lot of fun, but I would have stuck with my regular 64. There's nothing in this pattern that requires like an extra 2 stitches to I was thinking maybe it was making up for some like pulling in somewhere. That is not the case. If I knit these again, my normal 64 stitches is what I would have stuck with. Then for my second one, I have the wee cuff, and I am ready to start this part of it on that. That was a whole lot of talking about that. Sorry if that bored you to tears. Do you guys remember when I was making that muscle burra that I was using these hummingbird moon scraps for? I frogged it. It was way huge. It wasn't going to be enough yarn. I decided to make some Skimmer Socks Revisited, a pattern by Sheila Toy Stromberg, and they look like this. I just thought they were cute. I have one finished, and I am here. Where am I? I'm here on the second one. This is the toe. So you start with the toe and then you knit the foot and the heel, and then you pick up to do this little bit. So I'm like right here, I'm like right here on that second one. So I only have like a little bit to go, the heel, and then this part. And now this is my Melted Shrug by Susanne Sommer, or Cocoknits. It looks like this. And I'm so freaking excited for this. I do have to tell you, I would be so much further on this, probably close to being done, if I did not have to rip out this brioche section like 15 times. And I'm not even kidding. Not even kidding. Ugh. It's currently in my Billy bag, the little Olive. I used to have a pug named Olive. She passed away. She used to be the mascot for those of you who are new here. And Billy is the Crafty Floridian, and I love her. She made it for me. It has been in a bucket that I just keep at home, but I took it to work today because here's the thing. Today is the 23rd of March, and this weekend is the Black Swamp Fiber Festival in Bowling Green, Ohio. We're going to it. And then the next weekend is YarnCon in Chicago. You won't see this before Black Swamp, but I'm hoping that you will see it before YarnCon. Fingers crossed. If I can be Speedy Gonzales, I'm only knitting on this because it would be beyond freaking cool if I could wear this to YarnCon. But I still have so much to do, I'm not holding my breath on it. I very well could have done it if I didn't mess it up. This is going to be very weird to show. Obviously, this is the back. The last time you saw this, it was like somewhere in here. So I have knit like this whole section umpteen times. And I'm hoping that this will like look way better blocked. This is the right side, or what I'm going to call the right side, and then this is the wrong side. So there's these two whatchamadingies off here, and then the next thing I'm picking up here and somehow attaching these sections together. This is why. I mean, I have 1 week. I don't think I'm going to get it done. It'd be awesome, but I don't think so. So I have this section, and then however the sleeves work, and I cord like all the way around. I am loving it, but I was going to show you what I did. I can drop back in brioche, no problem. If I mess up down in here, that's a very easy fix for me. But what happened, see this stitch marker that I'm using, or it's a progress keeper I'm using in place of a stitch marker. Because brioche has all the yarn overs, what was happening is, here's my increases, right? Well, I had just a little, like a regular round stitch marker in there, and it was hopping. So I'd come up to the stitch marker, move it over, do my increase, and then my increase would be like over in this row. So that happened twice that I had to rip back. And then the other problem I was having is, or I had, not that I was having, but it happened twice, is I dropped over here along the edge. And while I can pick up and fix it in here, I couldn't pick it up and fix it over here. I had to rip back. There was no other way for me to do it. This is taking me way longer than it should. Then my last whip, I've changed the bag that it was in, and it's because, so I keep saying I'm going to talk about the play later, but I kind of have to talk about it here. Victoria, who's a viewer, and Rick, who's her husband, came up from Louisiana to see my play. I mean, you guys, my heart wanted to explode out of my body. It was amazing. I felt so much love throughout that entire process. I'll talk about it later. But Victoria brought me a project bag that she made, and look what's on it. Okay, now on the inside, you have to see the inside. Cocktails. And then this is the coolest part. The Sexton 2023. That's the name of the play that I was in, was called The Sexton. So, you know, she's like, I didn't bring you flowers. I brought you this, and it's so much better because all my flowers died, and I'll have this forever. So my Yarmalada is living in my Sexton project bag. My Yarmalada is what I'm using my Lambstrings Advent for. This, per the pattern, is supposed to be 24 inches. I have not measured mine, but it's going to be bigger than 24 inches or longer than 24 inches. And I'm okay with that because I already have outfits in mind to wear it. So it's going to be more like a, oh, what do they call those things? Kimono. Why was that word so hard? It'll be more like a kimono, a knitted one, because it's going to be long. This I do have a stitch marker in for the last time you saw it. Guys, this is so freaking cool. Isn't it awesome? Oh my God, I can't wait. Look at it. Hold on, I'll go slow. The teacup stitch marker is the last place you guys saw it. I just freaking love it. Okay, so I think that's 24 inches right there. I mean, that looks like 2 feet to me. And it's not blocked. But let me show you what I have left. I have this many colors left. Now, these are the half. These are the half that'll go on the front pieces. But, so I have 2, 4, 6, 8 more colors. But like I said, it's sort of on pause because I really want that melted shrug done. And that's all my knitting. I'm going to talk about one more thing before I go make dinner. Then you'll see Dan and I. And that's going to be enabling. And my enabling is pretty badass. Now, you've seen some of my enabling already. And that is my 2 skeins from Woolen Women. This is in the Moon Fairy colorway. And I purchased this to make the P-Rex, also by Susanne Sommer, because I kind of love her patterns. I've been on the hunt for the other color for the P-Rex, and it just so happened that my friends, Fiber Hustle, opened their shop. They just so happen to have some yarn that goes perfect with the Moon Fairies. And this is called, oh, one of my skeins has barfed. Look at it. Look at it. Oh my gosh. Look at those speckles. This is called I was going to say Wings Dove. When Doves Cry is this colorway. Oh, I'm so excited. Which, of course, the P-Rex will not be cast on until my melted shrug is off the needles. And probably even after my Yarmalada is done. That is my only enabling. I've been very good. Now, I'm going to go fix myself another drink. See? Make dinner, which hopefully it's easy. It's pasta. I think I can handle pasta. Also for you newbies,
The smoke detector is the song of my people.
and you guys are going to move on to future Chevis and Dan tomorrow night. So ta-ta for now. Hey guys, we're back. It's been a day for us, but it's been like seconds for you. So you know what that means. Since it's a new day for us, we have to talk about what we're drinking. I'm drinking an orange mule because I wanted a dirty martini and we're out of olives. So I had to make something, and there was this ginger beer in the refrigerator that's been there forever. And I'm like, okay, what mixies do I have? I have orange juice, as you saw for you earlier today, for me yesterday. And I'm like, yeah, I want to make something different. So this is called an orange mule. Tastes a little medicinal. Ginger, is it the ginger?
Probably.
I'll drink it, but
Not gonna make another one?
no, not my fave. Confessions from an editing Chevis. I made 2 more after that because it was Friday night, and then I decided I liked them. What are you drinking, babe? Our glass that all the paints come off of? Cup,
Nothing wrong with
whatever.
that. The Sexton. Whiskey. Irish whiskey.
That is by AMC Walking Dead, for those of you who watch that show. The reason that I have it is because it was gifted to me by my boss and playwright of the Sexton for my opening night from he and his wife, and it said break a leg on it. So that's where it came from.
Which she somehow managed to not do.
I didn't break my leg. We're going to talk about the play, but first I have some happy mail, and then I'm going to...
I'm a happy meal.
Yes. I'm pretty sure you say that joke every time you're on the show.
I consider not.
You
But
can
I couldn't break a habit. So.
First, I did not mention this. Loma and Echo sent me a Christmas gift, and I forgot to mention it on the last podcast, and I use it so often that I wanted to make sure that I mentioned it on this. First off, they got me this uber cool ceramic or pottery, and I asked them what the story behind it was, and they said they got it at an art show, and I absolutely love that, so thank you very much. The thing that I use all the time that they got me, colored split ring markers. There's 60 markers in here, and these are...
Stitch markers?
Yes. Or progress keepers. They're called ring markers is all it says.
All right, open it up. Let's see them.
They are nylon coated steel, and you guys, these things are so freaking cool.
Dude, I could eat those all day long. You never run out.
I use them all the time. They look like that, and they come, and they're like, what did I say? Nylon coated steel. They're really cool. Worth it. That would be a great gift for someone. That's something that I would probably never splurge on and purchase myself because I feel like I have so many stitch markers. I don't have any, business purchasing them, but I use them all the time. Great for a gift, and if you want to treat yourself, I'd say get them. So thank you, Echo and Loma. I've already thanked them, but Then we're going to reintroduce you to Little Miss No Name. Teresa is the one who sent Little Miss No Name to live with us.
Somebody needs to comb her hair. It's a mess.
Shush. She's old. Give her a break. She's living her best life over here. This is Little Miss No Name. One of you commented somewhere that you thought I just called her Little Miss No Name, and then you sent me a video because someone was redoing a Little Miss No Name, like he gave her new hair, and you realized that is actually her name. This is a doll called Little Miss No Name. She was only produced for a couple years, and it's funny because she was meant to be up against Barbie. I told Clint that, and Clint's like, what? Because, she's in this little burlap dress, and that's all she had, like, when she came. And Clint's like, yeah, well, Barbie has cars and careers and shit. Little Miss No Name just had her little burlap dress.
She was cold.
But our Little Miss No Name, she lives in the stuff room, Lauren knit her leg warmers. And then Teresa, her mom, sent her this cute little shawl. Isn't it adorable? And the patches match her patches. So flipping cute. I think she needs a hat. Maybe some wrist warmers. I mean, we could really doll her up, right? She lives in the stuff room and she loves it here and we love her and she's not terrifying at all. That's the reason Teresa sent her, because Teresa loved her and has for many years, and her children were terrified of her. And
I wish she'd stop turning the lights on in the kitchen, though.
She wanted to make sure that she had a soft place to land. So she's the queen of the stuff room.
Aren't you the queen of the stuff room?
Only one a minute. She's the VP.
Gotcha.
She also sent some Rambouillet from Long Way Homestead. She signed up for a subscription. And I mean, I love Rambouillet so much. It's just so springy and soft, and it really is a joy to spin. If you're a spinner and you have not spun Rambouillet, highly recommend. She signed up and accidentally marked fiber instead of yarn, and she's not a spinner. So she sent this, and then she also went to Norway and sent me this adorable, here, let me take it out of the plastic. Look how cute this card is, you guys. She got this in Norway. And we could make these.
Before she showed it, she had to pet it.
Oh, yeah. How can you not? Look how freaking cute that is. And it's just a blank card. I mean, you could have a craft night or something at your Stitch and Bitch or whatever. You could totally do this with kids. Have them glue, like if you had felting fiber or whatever, you could have them glue the fiber on and then take a marker and like draw stuff. How freaking cute is that? Then Debbie, the Canadian Crocheter, sent me goodies. Some of you have seen this on Instagram as well. I mean, you guys. I love chocolate. And my preferred desserts, like my favorite dessert, the thing that I will always pick is going to be like cakes and cookies. You know, some people do ice cream, stuff like that. Mine would always be cakes and cookies. So she sent me a video where people were taste testing these little cakes from Canada. And she said, would you be interested in trying these? And I was like, hell yeah. So, spoiler alert, I've had these for a while. I've already eaten them. Dan has not, because he's not a big dessert guy. I have not eaten all of them. I still have some. But
Put a dent in this one though, didn't you?
no. Talking shit. Joe Louise, you know that I've already had these. I love them. I'm so glad she sent them because I love them. Awesome.
What are they, like moon pies?
No, they're like ho-ho cakes.
Yeah.
Or Swiss cake roll. It's kind of like a Swiss cake roll whoopie pie looking thing. Then she sent me passion flakies.
Whoopie pie?
Whoopie.
It's a whoopie pie?
Then she sent me passion flakies, and these guys have raspberry and apple and
like
cream.
Pasties?
No.
Oh, ew.
What do you mean, ew? Actually, out of all of these are the ones that you would like the most.
Well, because there's a picture of a fruit in the front of it?
Yes. So these are like flaky. It's one of those things that you take a bite out of and it just like crumble. You got to hold over when you eat these. They're delish. And then these, so sweet. All caramel. Talk about the fat glands are rolling. And you get 2 of them. And see, there's like a little raised, oh my gosh. So I have eaten all of them. They're amazing. Thank you. We are going to Ohio tomorrow, as I mentioned, to go to the Black Swamp Fiber Festival. If the timing works out, I might post a little taste testing video. I think it's fun to see people try stuff that they've never had before. If we didn't go, you won't see a video and I'll probably cut this out completely because why edit?
so great.
Who do you have?
Pedro.
Show the camera. That's Pedro.
Hello, hello.
He lives here at Grandma and Grandpa's, huh?
Whee! He slides.
I had a friend send me some treats from Canada. Do you want to try them?
Yeah.
Do you want your dad to try them with you?
Dad, come here. Over here. Over here. Look.
Okay, you ready? This is what we have.
Ooh. Wow. That's a
They're all
lot.
gonna be backwards.
I can stack on my
They only look
flowers.
backwards to you.
Oh.
Okay, so look here. This is called a Passion Flaky. And we have a Joe Louie. You can't stand up, they can't see your head.
Just sit down.
And then these are called all caramel or caramel.
Oh, caramel.
Caramel?
You're gonna try them and then you have to tell us whether you like it or not.
I do.
So which,
Thumbs up. I want to
He doesn't even have-
chocolate.
You like
Okay.
chocolate? What's that one? That's the
he's digging right in.
thumbs up. Here, give the camera a thumbs up.
Yeah, tell them. Okay,
Then that
Joe.
was the
Joe Louie for the win.
Joe Louie.
How about your dad? Yeah,
Everyone can see
It's
my-
like a ho-ho.
you're too tall.
I can slouch.
I don't slouch.
You don't slouch? It's,
You're going in for the Joe Louie again?
it's like a moon pie. It's like a moon pie ho-ho. A ho-ho moon pie. Well, here, save some room. We gotta try the other
Yeah,
ones.
you have to try the other ones. Oh my gosh, you're gonna be on sugar overload.
Yeah, great. Okay, try one of these. Which one? Are we doing the caramel or the passion flaky? Passion flaky.
Hold over with that one. It's or not.
Mmm.
Got another thumbs up. What's it taste like?
Strawberry.
Strawberry?
I'm thirsty.
You thirsty? We need some milk to wash it down, huh?
No, not milk. Chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk? I like that one, how flaky it is.
I like this one, so it's chocolate.
You haven't tried that one yet. I know you'll like that one.
Yeah. Which one of these were your favorite?
That one.
The last one you ate?
This
That's
one?
this one.
You like that one the best? Yeah? Dad too.
Really?
Yeah, the caramel. Oh,
I like this one and this one and this one. Thanks, Debbie.
thanks, Debbie.
And of course, she couldn't just send lethal cakes. She had to send me some Canadian yarn as well. And this is Fleece Artist National Parks Collection. This is the Greenwich Dunes PEI colorway.
PEI, that's the state. It's Prince Edward Island.
I know Prince Edward Island.
Yeah,
Some of
Prince
you are
Edward
from
Island.
there, aren't you? So this National Parks collection was curated highlighting 13 of Canada's national parks, one for each province and territory in honor of Canada's 150th birthday. You always gotta smell it. I am
Looks
warm.
like the southwest tip of the island.
Someone's gonna ask, this is my weekender. Made out of Plucky. That's all the Happy Mail. Thank you so much, everyone. Before we talk about the play, I thought that I'd run down where we're going to be this year. I've had a lot of questions asking if we are going to be at Maryland Sheep and Wool and Rhinebeck. We are not. The only reason that happened last year, that both of those things happened, is that the stars aligned just perfect. Maryland Sheep and Wool is because I have totally awesome friends that made that trip doable for me. You know who you are. And Rhinebeck was actually supposed to be 2020 and got postponed to 2022. So those are very, very large trips for us. We are in Eastern Indiana and it's a jaunt. So this year is the year of little festivals. Well, I say little festivals, not little, but local festivals close to us within driving distance, and we're going to go to a few of them. So I thought I'd let you guys know where I'm going to be in case you're planning on being there too. You'll know if maybe we can run into each other and say, hey, what's up? Here are the fiber festivals we're going to. Black Swamp in Bowling Green, Ohio. That's happening tomorrow. You will not see this until it's over, but we are going to it, so I felt like I needed it on the list. YarnCon, which is in Chicago. That is next weekend, April 1st. We
may have already been to and from by the time you see this.
No, I'm gonna try real hard to get this up before that, but it's not like people jump right on and watch. So it may have already passed by the time you've seen this. We get to meet 3-ply girls.
Okay.
Irene, Joyce, and Angie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get to meet them.
Cool.
They'll be at YarnCon as well, for those of you who watch the 3-ply podcast. May, we have here in Fort Wayne, Solomon Farms Fiber Festival. It's itty bitty, teeny tiny, but it's right here, local, and I usually run into people that I know and love, and that's a fun one. One that I've never been to before, we have never been to before, we've been invited to it, but it didn't work out that year, is Hoosier Hills Fiber Festival in Franklin, Indiana. That's June 3rd. Michigan Fiber Festival, which I talked about earlier, is August 16th through the 20th. We'll probably just be there Friday and Saturday, whatever that date is, those dates are. We are camping right there at the fairgrounds, so that is awesome. Well, we'll have the camper, as we are Hoosier Hills as well. And we will also have the camper at the Wool Gathering in Yellow Springs on September 16th and 17th. Those are all the fiber festivals that we have on our calendar currently. The other things that we're going to that are on the calendar that I'm sort of excited about is we're going to the Flying Pig again, the marathon. We're going to lots of races. Dan has, his schedule. There's lots of races, including nationals, which he qualified for in Wisconsin. When is that? What month? July?
Yeah, July.
So we're going to be somewhere in
July,
Wisconsin in
August.
July.
Second week of August, I think.
No, that's Allegan.
Oh, okay. Then July.
Anyway, we'll be in Wisconsin, which I'm always so excited to go to Wisconsin because, New Glarus. And then in September also, we are going to the Ohio Renaissance Festival. It has also been on my list for many years, and it's just never worked out. And this year it has. We are going the weekend of the fantasy weekend. Like, they have themed weekends. I've only ever been to a Renaissance festival. Renaissance Festival.
Renaissance Fair. This is a fair, it's not a festival.
I thought it had festival on their website. Ohio Renaissance Festival in Waynesville, Ohio. Somebody said best Ren fair in the Midwest. Whether you call it a fair or a festival, whatever.
It's the best one in the Midwest.
According to unnamed comment. Anyway, I've only ever been to one, and it was a field trip for my art history class in high school. I know that some of you go often. I would absolutely love to dress up, but obviously have no idea what to wear or how to get it. And Dan for sure probably wouldn't dress up. But any tips and tricks that you have about that,
I could get a Superman costume.
let me know.
Green Lantern.
That is not, no. We're binging The Big Bang Theory from the beginning, and it is so much fun. It's even more fun the second time because you get to see the progression of the.
I could be Aquaman.
Oh God.
He would fit. He rides a horse.
Anywho, what fun stuff are you doing? Tell us. Some of you may have left already because you didn't care about what we just talked about. But if you really don't care about the play, thanks for hanging out. Now we're going to talk about the play that I was in. I don't even know where to start. It was exhausting. It was so fun. It was so fun and so exhausting. And
I don't know where to start. Does not take breath. I'm gonna start right here.
Well, that's what I thought of first. So much fun. I met so many friends who will be forever friends. I had a castmate named Ben who played Jacques. He and his girl, Mr. Diesel, Jacques Diesel. He and his girl own an art studio in town called Studio 7. And
Studio 07 because they're in the 07 zip code. Studio 7.
Yeah, Studio 07. But you say Studio 7. It's a really cool name. I'd never heard of it, and they do super cool stuff there. They do drag shows and comedy nights. We're going to start doing a craft night, knitting something. We're going to talk about it. We haven't etched anything in details, We've not discussed details or etched anything in stone. They have friends who have a podcast. Hold on, this is why I also wanted to share it with you. I'm not really a big podcast person because I'm a visual person. I like to...
What are you doing right now?
I don't want to have this conversation. Some people do not call this podcasts.
True.
And then every once in a while, you'll get somebody who does a YouTube channel that's like, this isn't a podcast. Well,
I mean, it's not.
I'm aware it's not a podcast, but we have been calling this, like the collective people on the YouTubes who knit have been calling them knitting podcasts for as long as I've watched them. It's like somebody who grew up saying wash and you correcting them saying wash all the time. They're always going to say wash. That's how they say the fucking word. So
Can't change.
no, they're
Once you learn something, you're set. That's it. Done. But in your defense, there's no such thing as a podcast anymore because there is no pod to cast to.
The app's called Pod. Like the iPhone app's called Podcasts.
Yeah, it's a podcatcher. That's where you go get your podcast.
I'm just saying, man.
But it's not going on your iPod because you don't have an iPod.
Okay, I will link this. I've listened to a couple
In the
episodes.
description box down below.
I've listened to a couple episodes, like while I was doing laundry and vacuuming, and that's nice because you don't have to see it, right?
This is the local girls.
Yes. They're called the Dark Yarnists. They tell you what they are knitting, and one of them crochets, and I think one knits and crochets. I have not met them yet IRL. I'm sure I will. Anywho, they're called the Dark Yarnists, and they tell you what they're knitting while they're doing the podcast. So they start out like, this is what I'm working on, this is what I'm working on, and then they discuss like crime stuff. And I'm all about the crime stuff. So if you're into those things as well, go check them out if you're a podcast listener. What else about the play?
Well, so far we know you're exhausted and you met a guy named Ben, and it's called the Sexton. Any other words? Was it a good time? Did you enjoy it?
It was so much fun.
It was exhausting. It had you out of the house between 3 and 7 days a week.
I told him
sometimes until 11 o'clock at night.
I told him earlier that when I signed up for it, I don't think that I quite knew what I was signing up for.
But I knew she'd be signing me up for something.
Dan made
And how it works.
Dan made the head. We'll put some pictures in at the end. Dan made the headstones for the ghosts. I can't remember if I told you what it was about. Did I tell you?
I read the script. I know what it's about.
I know you know.
The
And
name of the play is The Sexton, and the Sexton is the groundskeeper, the maintenance man at a cemetery.
a lot of people do not know that that's what a cemetery caretaker is called. And I believe I said that on the last episode.
So this guy can see ghosts.
He can.
And he's new. The play opens with the current/former caretaker, Sexton, dying. And the new guy walks in with Karen
With a bump it.
and her bump it.
One of the ghosts makes a comment about Karen's hair. So when we were running through the play, way before we even got to costumes or anything like that, I'm like, how is Karen gonna do her hair? Because he's like, keep thinking your hair's hot, honey, or something. So I figured that Karen had a bump it. So I got a message from Rick that said, hey, my wife told me that we're coming to see your play. Is there any chance that we can meet you? She doesn't know I'm reaching out to you. It'll be a surprise. So I totally knew that they were coming, but Victoria had no idea that I knew they were coming. So I went downstairs after the show and changed my clothes quick and came up. And I, had to talk to a couple people before I made my way to them. And I was like, Vicky! And she was sort of stunned because she was trying to figure out, like, how I knew who she was. Ditto has to make an appearance. He gets to see out the front window, so you're being a good boy. It was so cool. They won the prize for the furthest traveled, I'm pretty sure. There were quite a few people who flew in from places. I know David had family members who flew in. Rick and Victoria. He called her Vicky, and then I guess that stumped her that I called her Vicky because she goes by Victoria, which happens to me all the time. My boss's wife goes by Patricia, but he calls her Patty. So, like, she's Patty to me, right? Because when he's talking about her, she's Patty. So in my head, she's Patty. But everyone else knows her as Patricia. So I think Vicky and Victoria is sort of the same. So anyway, it threw her off. It was a whirlwind. It was a whirlwind trip for them. They came in from New Orleans. They had a very nice dinner. Rick is an internet sleuth. So I didn't even have to give him places to eat. They went to Hall's for prime rib. So he did his homework. He knows what he's doing. So it was awesome to meet them. I mean, my heart was just exploding. My family, so many family members came. Now I do have to tell you, there's a scene that we call the sexual harassment scene. The director calls the sexual harassment scene. I won't go into detail because some...
insert clip right here.
No, it's a surprise. If all the stars align, because I know many of you have asked, you will be able to watch it eventually. There was video taken. We don't know if it's usable. Dan recorded my sexual harassment scene. It's really hard to hear. So I don't know if CJ's camera, had better, because we didn't have mics or anything. So I don't know if it's possible, but if it is, I will let you know if you're interested in it. I think it's
Small
a very
theater. It was a 100-seat theater.
I think it's a very good story. There were very good reviews. It was just a lot of fun. Everyone's asking me now if I have the bug, and I would say
next play.
Yeah. I would say yes and no. Yes, I would for sure love to do another play. I liked it that much. I would do it again, but I can't see looking for auditions. You know what I mean? If somebody...
No, you're a Star is Born. Just sit here. And
Whatever.
They'll just come to you. There'll be a flood of directors coming through the front door. Like, when are you going to do our show? When are you going to do our show?
Shush. You know what I mean. I've met people within theater now who...
Yeah, you're huge.
Shut up. No, I'm not.
No, I'm being serious. Everybody absolutely loved her and told her that every time someone walked in the room, they're like, see that girl? And they're like, yeah, this is her first show. And they're like, what? You mean her first show with Tom? No, this is her first time acting. Like, what? Seriously? So she's a natural star.
I did take onto it naturally. Is that what I want to say? I did take onto it. That doesn't make sense. It did come natural to me. And at first when people were saying that, I thought that they were just being nice because they knew that it was my first time on stage. But then I heard it from so many people, different people that weren't connected.
But you weren't playing Macbeth. You were,
You
were playing a narcissistic bitch that liked to yell at guys.
Yeah. What they meant is that, I think, is that they couldn't believe that it was my first play because I was so comfortable on stage. Because so many people had said that.
It's because you were good.
No, honey, that's nice. You love me, but that's not why. I said to...
It totally is.
I'd heard it so many times from different people that eventually I said to one of them, what did you expect me to look like? Right?
A fumbling fool that can't project their lines. Not even a fumbling fool, I shouldn't say that, but you can't project, you can't memorize your lines, you're very robotic and just acting out what the director told you. I mean, I would think that's what they would expect, but
Yeah, I had a very
acted like a normal human being.
I had a very good actress say, "Oh, hold on, let me show you," and then she proceeded to act out what you would think someone who's never done a show would do. So anyway, I'm real good at playing pretend. I always have been. It's fun. I love costumes.
For us, for 18 years.
It was a great experience. And yes, I will do another one, but no, I will not go out and look for auditions. If someone approached me and said, "Hey, I saw you in the Sexton," or "Hey, I want you."
So the director's lining up at the door, bit of a Danism, but she's already been approached for the next show.
By the director who directed the Sexton.
Okay.
Which is a huge compliment. I foresee another one in my future.
Wintertime.
Yes, winter, because we're coming up on triathlon
see 10
schedule.
events in the next 14 weeks.
Yeah.
Wintertime.
Thanks so much for coming back after my hiatus. I do have on my list, I immediately got a cold. The day of the last show, the night before that, I started getting a sore throat. And I thought, man, I hope that this is just from like projecting my voice, because when you're on stage, this director who directed it, he was a wonderful director. Like, he was great, especially for me, for someone who's never done it before. I appreciated that direction, and I took his direction. And his thing, he's been in this career forever and ever.
He was gruff and analytical and got the job done.
Yes. His thing is projection and diction. That was his thing. So I really tried, which I'm a loud person anyway. I always have been.
I'm right here.
I was that little girl
Stop yelling.
that's what my dad would do to me, Chevy. I'm right here. You don't have to yell at me. Like, I just have one of those voices that carry. Even when I'm trying to be quiet, it just carries. Even though I'm loud, though, there were times like Tom's like, "I can't hear ya." And I was like, it's the first time in my 43 years on this planet anyone's ever told me to be louder. I wondered if maybe my throat was sore because I was projecting. But then it started, and I had a cold that whole next week, and it was a shitty head cold. I mean, my fishbowl head, my ears were popping, cough. It wasn't any fun. So, and then I gave it to Dan. So somehow I had COVID, a couple years ago, and it was like,
Twice.
Yeah, well, I think I had COVID once before anyone knew what COVID was.
Once, maybe twice.
And then I had it again that for sure I tested positive for COVID. And I mean, I felt like I was on death's door, and he didn't get it. But I get this gnarly head cold, and he gets it. It's so weird. Okay, this is going to be a bitch to edit. I mean, I'm good with some rambling, but then there's other shit that people are like, why do you think we care about this?
Who said that to you? People in your head? Or real people?
There are not people in my head. It's me in my head, and maybe
Just
what of
voices.
it.
There are no people in there. They're just voices. They're bodiless.
I suppose there could be a few Chevises in there. I'm going to go knit and watch a movie and make another drink.
I'm going to go finish the bar tape on my tri-bike.
Tri-season's coming, people. Okay. Love you guys so much. Thank you so much for coming back after my hiatus. I really needed it, and I feel refreshed, and I'm so looking forward to seeing all my fiber peeps tomorrow and YarnCon. Maybe I'll see some of you there, and catch you later. Stay tuned for the Sexton pictures.
Hello.
Say rubber baby buggy bumpers.
Cracker baby bumpy bumper.
Say spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Say how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
I can't say that.
Say orange.
Orange.
Say pillow.
Pillow.
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Say Rumpelstiltskin.
Rumpelstiltskin.
That was good.
Say aluminum.
Aluminum. Thanks for coming.